Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of the Clubhouse. I'm David. I'm joined here with my much thicker eyebrowed co host, Austin. Austin, how's it going?
Doing well. Been a long time since the last one. I think it's been a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, what the heck? We're making him wait for it.
Yeah, I think that we gave too much and we had to withhold a little
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make you want it more.
There were so many like emergencies too. We had to get the Keva episode done. And then we got the Natu ban emergency ban episode out.
Yeah,
We've been cooking a lot, and obviously appreciating all the views. I believe our first video hit 100 views. 100 views on the Keva episode, which was low-key a banger episode. If you're interested in End Zoro arc, granted that was like for the Phantasmal format, but great tournament recap and a little snapshot of that moment. Great run, of course. So check that one out. But thank you all, yeah.
yeah. That's retro content now.
True retro content, and there's retro content in it. There's '06 talk in there
Yeah, yeah, we
from the
did talk
Seattle
about
run.
talked about some RSBK. That was a good that was a good time.
Yeah,
Man,
no,
I'm
yeah,
already
check
getting nostalgic.
for real, for real. Check the backlog if you haven't, because we got some bangers back there. But uh, if you're with us now, I'm excited to say we've got a banger agenda, low key. It's been steaming, it's been fermenting. Um, at the end, we'll have a huge announcement about episode 10. So please stick with this. If you like the Clubhouse at all, you're going to want to hear this announcement. And we got to boost the viewer retention a little bit. So stick with us, of course. But we're doing our Ninja Spinner review. This is going to be all the Ninja Spinner cards, which will come out in English in May as Chaos Rising, I believe is the name. Um, so we're going to talk those cards. We're going to give a little, like, it's kind of mid season, kind of late season, like GLC recap. Talking locals because locals have been kind of popping. I feel like we've had good turnout. Austin's been like high key playing in them. A
Yeah, I've
budding,
been grinding.
a budding GLC head.
Well, now I'm going to all of them
Hell
because
yeah.
I need my badge.
Yes. Yeah, the sticker feels so good, man. It's unlike any other sticker I've ever put on a piece of paper. We got some viewer submissions as well. In
Yes.
the inbox. So if you want to get featured on the Clubhouse, of course, we got our email in the description. Um, Tell us
Yeah,
anything.
we do
Some
shout outs.
We do shout outs. We'll keep you anonymous if you want. We'll look at your
Yeah.
lists. We'll take your hot takes, discussion topics, anything you want to send us that's not like, you know, just totally unhinged. We'll review it on this podcast.
For real. Send us recipes. Send us your letterbox. Send us your last FM. Who cares? We'll review it.
We will, we will, we will.
If it makes good content, like you can't be putting like low effort slop in there. We have some two bangers.
Yeah,
I felt like I read both of these and I was like, okay, let's see what this community can come up with. And I think we have two really great emails already. So
yeah.
I'm hyped.
Facts, facts. No, absolutely. Well, I say we just dive right into this thing. Um, First topic we got here is like a little mid-season, late season GLC, you know, recap thoughts on our season so far. At locals here, Good Games Chicago. We are in season 3 of the GLC League, um, which is our bi-weekly GLC local. Um, Long-time viewers will know I used to lead this season, but unfortunately I've lost my lead, not to one player, but now to two. Both Connor and Nick have surpassed me in badges. They both have four. I have three, and there's still a ton of people with two. I don't think there's anyone else with three. It was just Nick, and I think now it's just me again. Um, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I knew for a while it was like everybody was at two,
Yeah.
and then Connor like pushed away or pushed ahead, pretty decisively, and I can't remember why.
Yeah,
But
it
it's
was
been like
Conquest. He went
really,
2 to 4. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was, but I knew he had a pretty decisive lead. Um, but yeah, Nick like really came out of nowhere in the last 2 weeks, back to back,
Yeah.
uh, pushing to the front of the herd with he won with Carlos last night, right? And then
Yeah.
before that was
Dragon.
fighting Dragon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a fighting badge from quite a while ago. Um, with Hitmon Bros and like Lunatone Soul Rock. Uh,
Mm,
Okie Dokie package, and then later on got the Psychic dub. This was like the week before Hector won. Um, in our streamed matches, our streamed L's that we took. And then we had two that were like back to back. We're doing like a little GLC triple header and skipping the bi-weekly. We're going weekly for a little bit, um, just to kind of go crazy. And he has now won two of those back to back with uh, Dragon and now Colorless. Yeah. I had to triple check because I think the man is 12-1-2 across these four tournaments. Which is kind of a nasty record, especially considering that this is like with three decks. Um,
mm,
I kind of wanted to say I had this thought earlier that was like the back to back to my mind is like one of the craziest things you can do in the GLC scene because it's like I am so gas with like multiple decks. Like in my opinion, it's very hard to learn a deck to like a super competitive level like that. And to be able to do that like twice over and be consistent enough with both that you can win two badges back to back. To me, that's just it's next level.
yeah. I think like anytime you can win 8 games in a row,
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. But Nick has been like pretty routinely like going at least 50% in, if not 3-1. I think he is like a pretty there's a lot of like 3-1ers we have
yeah,
who don't even have their first batch. I think like Nick's been 3-1ing a lot. Um, but I also don't know if he is like a X1 dropper. That might
yeah.
be another factor
He was
because we have a lot
one
of
of those tournaments. He went 1-1-1 drop. So I don't even know what that's about.
no, a tie. A tie is egregious.
Yeah, I had a tie
Oof.
yesterday.
Yeah, but you're playing control deck, so it's like I don't know.
It's kind of a skill
That's kind of
issue.
an L on your
It's kind of a
part,
skill issue.
but
Yeah. No, I gotta start forcing the board state agreement because I'm not trying to
ooh,
tie too much at all.
yeah, introduce the gen set at GLC.
Yeah, and it's like I kind of want that store credit too. Like they be having singles I want sometimes, and if they have like a couple, like there's a couple I want that are like pretty expensive, save up a little.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
gonna
can't be
type in the
tied.
chat. I'm gonna type in the chat what my store credit is at, and then
Yeah, just add it
because
to
I
your
asked,
Discord name.
I'm typing it because I tell some people like how much I have, um, and like
Damn.
I just don't know what to do with it anymore
Yeah.
because it is like for a while I was gonna buy board games, but like I don't be playing board games like that.
Yeah, yeah.
every time like I want to play a board game, people are like, oh, I love this board game. It's called the Pokemon TCG.
True, exactly. No,
Uh,
I flipped some of my earlier store credit into like a copy of Settlers of Catan because my roommate wanted it. And I was like, oh, this would be a sweet gift, you know? It's like I have all this extra credit. I'm not really buying the packs. Let me just get a board game my friend will actually play. But
Never
since
even
then
played it.
I haven't spent shit.
Yeah, I getting the start credit now because it's only top four, right? It's not that
Yeah.
easy. Like you can go
No.
3-1 and bubble out.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you kind of have to like it's hard if you like lose early. You have to like really lock in. Work for that 3-1. No, we had locals last night. How did your run go? You were playing, right? I feel like we didn't
Yeah, I
talk that
went.
much.
Yeah. So
Stay busy.
round one, I went 1-2. 1-2 drop go home. And
Right.
I was like instant zonked as soon as I like got home. I think I like opened my door and within like 10 minutes I was already asleep.
Yep, yep.
Um and I started off, I lost to Dragon and my prizes were Muscle Band, 2 Psychic Energy, Curlia. This was like an Evo build, not like the all like good stuff basics.
Yeah. Dragonite.
Like yeah. So it's like the Dragonite, the Garchomp, the those were the two big ones, but I am drawing blank on what the third one was. Anyways, three three like little stage twos, and I'm playing Psychic, and I like lose to I'm down two prizes like pretty quickly, and then he pushes up the Dragonite with two energy on it, like smacks it. And it's one of those where like um he had like so much energy with like these dragon decks. Once they reach like critical mass of energy on board,
Yep.
it's like really difficult to come back from.
Yeah.
Because they can just go like broken attacker, broken attacker, broken attacker. Um, because he had a Drudagon that had like one fire on it. He had the Dragonite. He had the Raging Bolt. All of these like powered up, and you kind of like with Psychic you can out tempo them if they like fall behind on energy attachments, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and the problem that I ran into is like there's no way for me to one shot this Dragonite without Muscle Band, and it was in my prizes. Normally, like I think in GLC people way overblow like how bad prizing is.
Yeah. Because you're
Like,
monkeyless, right?
yeah, I'm monkeyless, so that was like a whole other thing where monkey would have been really good. Um, it would have been good in like a couple matchups actually,
Yeah.
but I think like I'll save that for the end.
Yeah.
Um,
That's how muscle bend is strong too.
yeah, Muscle Band would have been like a big savior.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have any like damage on board actually that I could use for the monkey, so it didn't really matter. Um, so I lost because I can't really like get over 180 with
Yeah.
it. With the boulder, I only do 170. I didn't have like any other damage modifiers, so I kind of just like took the L.
Real.
Game two, I played against Jed, local legend,
Facts, facts.
and
I think I heard you get fobbed.
no,
No? Okay, okay. That was
no,
someone
no,
else.
no.
Some other poor soul in round three, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't see the Faba. Jed was kind of playing I kind of want to say it's like the bird colorless deck.
Kamala.
Yes, that's like his big card, which
Kamala
is like a
colorless, yeah.
which is like that was one that I had to read because it has like War and Peace at the bottom of it for like one energy for 30, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I know this is gonna like do something that's gonna make my day worse. Um, and like for those who don't know, it's one energy, 30 damage. Both are asleep. You have to flip double heads to wake up.
No, I think
Next
it's normal
turn.
sleep.
Oh, it doesn't
Don't
matter to
don't
me.
quote me. Don't quote me on that.
I think it is. I think it is double. I think it is. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Pull it up. Pull it up. No, it's just normal sleep.
Okay.
But Snorlax does have that double flip.
Okay. Anyways, and then like the next turn you do 100 more. I think is like what the second is. Uh, so I flipped heads both times.
Amen.
Um, so I kind of destroyed it, and then I kind of just like out tempoed him.
You
But
gotta,
it was
yeah, you
still,
gotta give him one tails.
yeah, I beat him. But it was like an interesting deck. We were at the 01 tables. We were at the actual bottom table,
Real, real.
and which is like kind of nice because it was like only 10, so we got like a whole table to ourselves, so we didn't have to like sit next to anybody. So that's
Yeah,
like ideal round two
true, true.
IMO. If you go like 01,
Hit a
that's
high
probably
skill
ideal.
opponent.
Yeah, I think that like I think the average skill of like GLC is pretty high right now. Or I think like the average player is like pretty good because I always see it and I'm like, oh, high elo, high high skill matchup turn game one. But that's kind of just like how most games are. There's only so many people that show up to these. Like that was 20 people, I guess, or 21 because we had one buy. But like most of the people who show up to our locals like know what their decks do and
Yeah,
like have theory of mind, I guess, into like
yeah, yeah,
how to
certainly.
win.
Yeah,
Um,
and like the 35 minutes, we're all pretty trained.
yeah. So it's like good. Game two, I played. So that was Jet. Game three, I played against one of our locals, and they were on Fairy Control. This is the first time I had ever played against Fairy Control, and I got hit with the lock. Um, because like it's always really difficult to play into Control blind,
Yes.
because you never know like what flavor of Control it is.
Right, right.
Um, and I kind of got stuck where it's like they bossed up the or counter catcher, I think is what they did, my Iron Boulder.
Mm.
Because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep my hand low and like we can probably do it, and then so on and so forth. And they kind of just retreat locked me, and they pulled off like the nastiest turn ever, where it was like I can never remember like what this card is called. Beloba and Bryce Man?
Yeah,
Belabia?
Belelba and Bryson Man. Bryce
Bryson Man.
Bryson is his own character, but this is not him. This is Belelba and Bryson Man.
I like
Mills both people three, and you can also
yes.
use this weirdo second effect where if you discard three, you can like parallel both sides. Um, yeah,
Yeah. I never I think because of like the card like does psychic damage onto me, so I never process the name
yeah,
because I immediately it gets played and I'm immediately like, oh boy, I guess I'm gonna see what the damage is. And they
yeah,
ripped off Raihan, Wondrous Patch, Malamar, and then this was a Lieutenant Search strategy
yeah.
turn. So they also hit me with the Misfortune Sisters, and they ripped off Night Stretcher versus Seeker and like two other items. And I was like, I think I said
Four
like
out of five.
I was like, I think that's a game. And I just kept on
Yeah,
drawing to be like, okay, I'm just gonna like play it out.
yeah, yeah.
I scooped.
Yeah.
GG's, and then I left because I was like, I'm not gonna get store credit, so like, why be here?
Yeah. Not going up from
These,
there, I guess.
yeah, and these go late. It was like already 9:20 by the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, we're really in that store till the bitter end.
Yeah.
But not a bad run. No, that fairy control run was so sick. 3-1. Shouts to Lynn, our local
Mhm.
Lynn, who piloted the deck to a 3-1 finish. Placing third, I believe, in the tournament overall, and also going on the single best fairy run I think our locals has ever seen. Um, and perhaps her first run with the deck, which is also kind of crazy. So it's like perhaps a match made in heaven. I want to see more of this fairy control.
Yeah. I think Michael said that this is the first time Fairy has ever won at our GLC, like
Yeah,
won a game.
1A game. Yeah, I can verify that is not true. We had one in season two. There was a single fairy win over a psychic deck. I don't know what it was, but psychic, rather, fairy did win one game last season,
Okay.
but not three. Not three in one night.
Yeah, three is crazy. I think this might be. Do we have the data to see like what decks have gone the most 3-1s? Because
Ooh,
I'm really curious to see like because we of course know all the decks that have gone 4-0,
yeah.
but how many like have we had a 3-1 of every type now?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because
Yeah, because I
I
know there's been 3-1 like fires. There's been 3-1 lightnings.
yeah
There's a lot of legendary like 3-1 runs. I feel like Sam Pants 3-1 with lightning, Kyle with 3-1 Blaziken. Catra's put up some insane like 3-1s with like insane fire brews and metal brews. Dahlia with the 3-1 getting all the way to finals. Oh, that was I couldn't even watch that match.
yeah Dahlia's had a lot of good runs.
Yeah.
They've been pushing up there. I think they had a 3-1 last night. Or was it Anna? Because I know Anna Dahlia matched
Yeah.
last round,
I
and
think
I
it was
didn't
like
know who won.
yeah. I think they started 2-0 and then maybe lost one and like paired into Anna after that. Don't quote
Hmm.
me on that though.
Yeah, I think Dahlia had a good night. Um, can't remember. Yeah, some good stuff. I think the badge race is getting pretty tight.
Yeah.
Um, so many of the players have like all of their good types already maxed out. What is
Right.
Connors
Connor's
for?
got all the good types. He's psychic, fighting, dragon, colorless, I believe.
Is that the same as Nick?
I think it Loki is the exact same four, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Connor is like,
He was on
oof.
water.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know he played a couple metal. I know he has played water.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Nick is gonna be on next week.
Yeah. I was hearing some water murmurs.
I think water is probably according to the poll. I think water is it was like fifth in the Alec
That checks out,
Brenneman
yeah.
poll. I think it was fifth, and Loki. I think water was actually more people thought higher of water than
Like colorless or
colorless.
dragon, right?
So I think people agreed that like Draco was like third.
Yeah.
Um, I think it
I
was
don't know if
like
I'm agreeing with that, but yeah.
very much psychic fighting where like one and two. Like that was it was essentially the consensus. And then the other three.
Yeah. No, I feel like there's something in the water here because like uh or perhaps something not in the water because I've never thought our like local water strength or maybe it's just like an effect of the last like 2 years of cards, but I feel like water is kind of the worst good type left. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
Wait, this might be a smooth transition into my run because I paired into Connor on water, round one. That is always fucking scary. Pardon me for my language here, but
Well, we just
damn.
lost all our endorsements.
I'm like always sweating bullets when I play him, man. It is intense. Um, but I've been testing Persian. I've been locked in on Ursaluna control because uh, for one, it's getting some new cards. In perfect order, there's this awesome Diggersby that hits 140 for 1 and hits your own bench for 30. It's got like Earthquake effect. But there's this old supporter called Mountain Ring from the XY era.
Mm.
Mountain Ring's gonna protect my bench, so I'm really excited to play that. We're gonna try it with some Jet energy. I think it's gonna be awesome, to be honest. But I've been also testing this Persian from Team Up, which is also insane. It's got 100 HP. Fan wrote him, okay. But you push it for 1 energy, the Persian, if they have 4 or more cards, you get to look at their whole hand and rip cards out until they have 4 cards. So it's like, if they have more than 4, like you're giving them the most unplayable 4. And if you play some control, kind of like the Zerosic effects where it's like, Zerosic kind of sucks because they always keep like 3 mega playable cards. Like you can never really rip them unless you're just like also ripping Delinquent. Um, but like with this Persian, it's like the opposite effect. Like the more cards they have, the higher value mills you can like choose from their hand. Um, and like it scares them into drawing more. I think it's super crazy. Um, but anyhow, this is all to say Persian and a nice good old Ursaluna share a loop got me the dub versus Connor. Um, and not a turn too soon because it was turn 2 of time. Um, and then round 2 I hit Larry. Larry just kind of checked me with Frillish. I don't really have a game plan versus Frillish yet, and I need to work on one because I'm just losing to it. And I don't know. I just don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing yet. Um, I feel like Psychic is like pretty decent for control. Um, Certainly, if Fairy can beat some Psychic, then Colorless can. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything can beat anything is GLC.
Oh, facts, facts.
I think it's Psychic is really in a good spot, as we said for a whole episode.
Yeah.
Frillish is a card that I'm really am because I don't want to play dark energy, but I want to like I've been spicing up the list, and I think that like my Pokemon line feels good, but I need more options. And I I think well with Psychic, there's so many good attackers. Everybody's telling me they cut the Zacian, but I love that card.
Yeah. The Zacian's kind of nasty, yeah.
It is just like so good, but it is useless for the first like half of the game. But Frillish is like really nasty.
Yeah.
There's so many crazy things you can do with it. I think Frillish with the new psychic energy, telepath energy, I can't remember its
Oh,
name.
yeah.
I think like that's going to be a really nasty turn one.
Yeah.
If you can get it to start like telepath and then grab like routes not to, like that, against like some decks that are item locked also,
Yeah.
and you can put like damage modifiers on it also. It's doing like 20.
Yeah,
Put a
yeah.
muscle band on there,
40.
they're doing 40, and like that's just insane pressure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and like, I will say about Telepath, like, I think there's some kind of balance to it. I know this card is like kind of crazy, but it does eat your attach for turn, so like you can't then go into anything else to like swing with usually on your like first setup turn, you know? You could like retreat your active into Mew that you get off the telepath. That's a really nice play, obviously, but um I just thought I'd mention that. It does kind of like eat that attach. You have to like attach and then get more basics who you might have normally otherwise attached to.
Yeah, it's an interesting card. I
Yeah.
think it's. I almost put it in my deck before I left for work, and then I read the announcement that it was not perfect
No.
order legal.
Not yet, not
So
yet.
I almost cooked myself.
Next week, next week.
Yeah,
I should
maybe I'll.
also. Oh, go ahead.
I should probably like do some shadow boxing with my new. I really want to play the Mimikyu. That's like the big thing right now.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Mimikyu's nice. I should mention too, in my game versus Larry, he hit me with my poor Persian. I like put Luxcape on it to tank something, and then retreated it to try to deny Larry the prize and like scoop it up later. Um, and he hit Zatu counter energy, and I was like, Larry, your counter energy's not on. And then he went like teammate. I don't even think it was teammates. It was some other shit. Blindside, D Valley, and then of course hit me with the blindside for three prize cards on my Persian, which had like 90 HP left. Uh, man, Cheryl was clocked out that turn. I'll tell you what. Um, but after that was pretty uneventful. I was kind of no longer as locked in. Round three, I played versus Frostlass Spread, um, which is kind of a scary matchup, but I think I played okay. They have some like pretty easy to lock up cards, and your Cheryl like puts in so much work. You can also like B&B yourself. There's a couple tricks that you have to deny spread a lot. Um, I had that game locked up. We tied in turns. I gotta start pressing the board state agreement. But in any case, round four, I just hit versus metal, and versus like normal metal builds, control just kind of rocks them. Um, Spiritually, you know, they're the all the heavy guys with like kind of slow acceleration, so you just punish them crazy hard, harder than any other type, really. Um, so I ended 2-1. I was pretty happy with.
The day somebody goes back on the GLC gentleman's agreement, the Discord is gonna be fed for
uh,
weeks.
yeah, that would be insane.
That's like the one controversy. We don't have that many local controversies, but I think that I'm surprised there hasn't been a gentleman's for two people who are 3-0,
Yeah,
and then somebody like goes back on it. I'm surprised that hasn't happened, but a lot of the people are pretty honest.
yeah, no, that's
It
true.
is, um, I think somebody remarked like how friendly everybody is at locals, and I it's hard to be not friendly whenever you have to deal with the same people every other week because it's what's the whole thing with like
Yeah.
gentlemen's agreements in uh like standard tournaments. Like if
Oh,
you go
yeah, yeah.
back on it, whenever you need the gentlemen's, people aren't gonna want to give you it. So
Right, right,
it's game theory over multiple tournaments, I guess. So it's
right, right,
there's levels to it.
right. And it's if it's just some rando, this is like why you don't date your coworkers, because it's like if it's some rando at the regional, you know,
Yeah.
that's a bridge burned, but like you'll recover from that, you know. Uh, but if it's like your locals know you as the the gentleman's destroyer, the non-gentleman, the non-agreeer, That's a little tense.
Yeah. If you snake somebody at a locals for a gentleman's agreement, that's crazy. I think like even at a regional, like you could just well, it's one of those where you could just say, "Hey, I don't want to do a gentleman's agreement." Like that's the
Yeah, yeah,
whole
yeah.
solution. But I get it. Some people just are like, "I'm here for my prize packs and I'm gonna leave. I'm here for my hollow energy. My hollow energy and the three like stamped basics I'm never gonna play."
Yeah, yeah. No, for real. Any predictions? Any closing thoughts on this GLC season yet?
I don't know.
Because I feel like I know last season it kind of took a while to get past like 3 and 4. Like I feel like we're starting to see a bit of the effect of the like badge board design where, the more badges you get, the worse decks you're playing subsequently each week. Um, so it'll be interesting to see like what decks break through on that like 5 and 6 badge tier, as well like who starts rocking up. Because Alec made a super strong late season push um, last season. I don't know what got into him, but he was going crazy last season, like towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I would be curious. Well, I guess maybe just saying it as it is. I think that like our badge system is like one of the most like well documented
Yeah,
because our I guess GLC czar Michael posts like the list and everything for every single time. So you can see like as it evolves
yeah,
what types are going away. But there's a lot of stores that like do something similar, and I'm really curious to see how theirs are evolving. We know like
yeah.
how Full Grips is, um, but
They
I
do
think
one
like
like every week though. That's kind of some
true.
they have some Mickey decks be winning those tournaments. They are 5 rounds, so we have to see that they are actually playing more Pokemon than us and like getting real badges
Yeah.
every time. But in any case, like you know, I've seen some crazy badges come out of the full grip local.
Well, it's also like we're probably seeing more crazy lists because they just have more tournaments.
Mm,
So the most skilled players are, of course, getting
yeah,
pushed to have to build these weaker types up to the level of the stronger ones. But it's
yeah,
also probably like I would imagine most of the players have their psychic badge. I don't know. I saw like the GLC board, and there's some people that have like kind of like mid low tier types as like their only badge.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I do think it is going to be interesting because I for Ninja Spinner, um, so maybe pulling it back, uh, we did it like a pretty stagnant format, essentially the entire um season.
Yeah.
I guess there was like a couple before Mega Evolution came out where we would have that. But since like Mega Evolution on, it's been like the same couple types that are really strong. And it just takes a while for a lot of the like most locked in players to get their like psychic, their fighting badge, and then like their third type.
Yeah.
But a lot of them I think like most of them have of the badges, the people who have two, have like some combination of like colorless fighting, psychic, dragon.
Right, right.
And I don't know if
Couple
there's anybody water might I think like
yeah.
Dan has a water.
Yeah, a couple waters.
Um yeah, people have like the same types. And I don't think there's any like low tier types, people would say,
Yeah.
on our board right now. So it is like
Yeah.
the most locked in players are getting to a point where they have to like really push water, metal,
Lightning,
or lightning,
grass.
grass, like these
Yeah.
types that are like they have to push them to compete against psychic and
Yeah,
fighting. We have a there actually wasn't that much psychic and fighting today for how like
right, right.
or last night. I think there was only like two fighting. No, there was actually a lot.
Yeah.
I think there was only three psychic. There was a lot of one random type, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it metal? Or was it colorless,
It might,
probably?
yeah, I think there was a lot of colorless. I think there was a lot of metal also.
Yeah. I hit metal. I know the Archaludon's getting a good amount of hype. Does like
Yeah.
I think it's not much. It's like 120 for 3, but it blocks all damage from basics after it swings.
Mhm.
Um, so you can really like wall out an entire deck with that kind of thing. Um, I wonder too if like later in the season, because I imagine most GLC seasons run roughly the same as like the Pokemon season, like August to August or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if there's like an effect where the worst types get brewed later in the season because like
Mm,
good or like more innovative players start getting badges, they get pushed onto these worst types, and then it's like, you know, May, June, July, we start getting the grass builds, the metal builds, the lightning builds start popping up.
maybe.
Could be, could be.
I I think some people have a cooker soul and are always going to be cooking the bad types.
Yeah.
But if you also want to win, there's plenty of cooking you can do with psychic and fighting still. Like these good types are also just have so many tools.
Yeah.
But if you can't play them, I'm surprised. Okay, so I guess like Connor and Nick aren't in a position where they can do this. But if you go so far ahead, is there merits to just like playing one of the types you already have and like stopping out all of the people playing
Yeah.
their lower tiers?
I don't know. Maybe if I was like 2 badges ahead, I would consider it.
Hmm.
But it's like you also need your opponents to be on like sufficiently bad decks. Because if it was like, let's say like me and Nick are racing, and I have like 6 and he has like 4, I'm just gonna like farm him with Psychic. But the fact that like he's on 4 means like he has to play, let's say it's water. Um, Psychic into water like used to be more even, but now it's like quite Psychic favorite, I'd say. Um, like the matchups need to be like sufficiently good.
Yeah.
Where it's like if it was like 7 to 5, now it's like okay, I'm playing Psychic into like fucking metal every week. That's gonna be like 100-0 basically.
I think it's well, the whole other problem is like you have to hit the other players and not hit the players who are racing for like the good types. Because you can't
Yeah,
really like metagame because people are not consistent enough to always be at the top tables. Like even the people who are pushing ahead, you would just have like bad nights. So
yeah,
you might have also been like wasting an opportunity to like push even further ahead
right. Get
because
your
you
own
can run
badge.
hot
Yeah,
on these like weaker decks. If you have like a good list and you know like your play is good, you can anything can win.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I think that's right. Like for as good as Psychic is, and I will say I do think the format is like indeed kind of it feels like a long distance between like the good decks and the worst decks. Um, but I don't think it's long enough that like I would start trying to farm anti badges. That's a little crazy. Plus, like the grass players and the metal players, they need new builds. Someone
Yeah,
someone's got to get in there and help them.
I think it is kind of interesting that we haven't run into somebody who, because we get a lot of people Is somebody who just like one tricks a deck and they get their badge with Psychic and they're like, I still want to play Psychic, and they just show up the next week with the same deck.
Yeah. I wish I could like prestige my psychic badge because like psychic would be the most
Yo,
fun card pool if it weren't so broken. You know what I mean? Like there's so many awesome cards in there you can play, but like the broken shit is just so broken that it's hard to justify.
we might need to introduce the concept of prestiging badges.
Yes.
Like
That's what I was
imagine
saying.
imagine being in last place, but you're a Psychic fifth prestige.
Right, right. They can't touch that. No, and I think too, like a lot of card pools offer different like archetypes, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
psychic, we've talked about like monkey and monkey lists, but like you can go very pure spread with like Uxie cores, Wheezing stuff. Wheezing Wobbuffet is a super strong combo. There's like really fun, interesting things in there.
Awesome. Psychic.
Lost. Oh my! How could I forget Lost Zone Psychic? Yeah, the like kind of
Yeah.
fusion Lost Zone builds we've seen.
Hmm.
No, for certain. Necrozma, like special psychic, used to be just
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of like
yeah.
an archetype people knew about. It's kind of like not as popular, but Necrozma sees us play in like the Garbodor, kind of evolved into that. Garbodor.
Yeah, there's so many interesting. You never know like what the exact 60 a Psychic player is going to be playing.
Yeah,
Um, because with fighting, like sometimes you can kind of tell like what their deck's going to be pretty quickly, based off of what they start with. There's like a lot of cute cards that they play, and I
yeah,
think people are starting to challenge the RGT. What's the word? Hegemony?
yeah. Hegemony. Yeah, yeah,
Whatever. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I think there is like some really interesting because the core is still really strong of just like the rocks and the okie dokie,
Yeah,
but there's still a lot you can do.
yeah.
Some, some interesting stuff, interesting developments.
I was doing some like fighting testing for Perfect Order specifically, a little personal project, and uh, well, I guess I don't have to leak it now, but it was for Connor's full grip run. But he did not play fighting, so that was a-okay with me. But I did find that Rocks and Okidogi is such a strong core that some people just play that and Barbaracle. I saw this
Yeah,
Japanese list that I shared with a couple people because it was so crazy. It was a straight up four Pokemon deck. I guess five because Barbinacle and Barbaracle. You had the two rocks, the Dogi, and that was it. And if you run those five Pokemon, like, it's tough to get them out, obviously. Like, it's a little more work than, just like having whatever Joe Schmo attacker you can just kind of chain together. Um,
mhm.
but it's so potent that, like, you can just make that the whole core of your deck and it will function. Um, and indeed, like, the thinner you go on your core, uh, the more resilient it is to like being disrupted, right? Like parallel is like, I don't care. I got four Pokemon. Uh stuff like reset stamp and whatever, it just kind of feels less bad because it's like I'm looking for like such a smaller pool of cards. You simplify everything and it's like I got Clara, I got Tarragon, I got Night Stretcher, Revive, I got energy retrieval. I got everything to just kind of like do one thing, and that is loop this damn dog as many times as possible.
Type.
Now, for real, for real. We got this Ninja Spinner set coming out. It's called Chaos Rising.
Yeah,
Um, talk to
it's
me.
gonna be one of the sets of all time, for for sure.
One of the sets of
Uh,
all time. It's good. This is like the first post rotation set. So like we're gonna rotate with perfect order here next week, and then this is gonna be like the first new set after that. So once we're all done coping and crying about the cards we were quite sorry to lose, honestly, this will be our first fresh breath.
How is Perfect Order not the first post rotation set? Doesn't so it's I guess
You're
this
right,
is
that
all
doesn't make
semantics.
sense.
I guess is it Perfect Order is released and then rotation happens, or does rotation happen and then Perfect Order is released?
Right, because it's
Or
like
is
the
it
same
like
day they're legal.
2 weeks after?
Right, right, right. There
So
is,
well,
this is
it's
to
like the
say
first
there's
day of
no
legality.
tournament
Yeah, yeah,
format with perfect order that is not rotated. It's just this
yeah.
damn
Unless you have like some
Pokepad
ridiculous.
is like the whole set was such a flop that the only card we care about is not even in this set. It's from the last set.
Yeah,
TCG is kind
it,
of in its
it's.
flop era, but you didn't hear it from us.
I can't remember the last set this controversial where like I'm I'm deep in the trenches of Pokemon Twitter, and it seems like everybody who isn't coping like really doesn't like this set.
Yeah,
Like the collectors are like, there's no chase cards. It's just like the Meowth is what people want.
yeah,
I think like Zygarde might actually be the least popular third Pokemon in like the legendary trio.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Do you think that soccer player from the Super Bowl commercial? Do you think that was Zygarde's actually his favorite Pokemon, or do you think he
oh
got
no.
fed that line?
Either 100%, like of course all of them got fed their lines. Like I do not for a second believe that
That Lady
most
Gaga's
of them.
favorite Pokemon is Jigglypuff. You don't believe that? That's pretty believable to me.
Okay, maybe that's the one I believe. But the all of them, it's like an advertisement, so of course they're all getting fed their lines,
Yeah,
except for Lady Gaga.
Zygarde is no way though.
I don't think unless you're Zygarde is like maybe the most performative legendary Pokemon to say it's your favorite. I think like either you're like super performative and you're like, my favorite legendary Pokemon is actually Zygarde. And then or you're like 7 years old and Pokemon Legends ZA is like your first game you've ever played, and you're like, I love Zygarde.
Yeah,
Which like there's
puppy.
probably like that's like a kid that exists, which like that's real.
Yeah, it's got a dog form too. It is kind of a cute puppy. Got to pay the puppy
Yeah,
tax.
it is like cool, but anyway, no one really likes Zygarde that much. It really is like the industry plant Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like people love saying that about Zoroark, about like I don't know. People what is the like grass monkey?
oh, Simisage.
Zorua? No, 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 no. The other grass one. Zarude?
Oh, Zarude. Yeah,
Yeah, that one's an industry plant. Zorua is like another industry plant.
yeah,
Um, but Zygarde might actually be the industry plant.
yeah. I feel like I've never thought about it. I feel like Meloetta is definitely an industry plant. Probably the like
True.
blueprint.
True. Victini is like also up there because it was like they
Yeah.
push it so hard. They're like, we're gonna give this Pokemon entry number 0.
Yeah, every event Pokemon like after Gen 4 is on watch.
For real. Um, yeah, I guess like the OG industry plant is like Donphan because it
True,
was in the
true, true, true.
Pokemon movie, or like a Meryl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Those
know
are like the
exactly what you're talking about.
OGs. Those were the because they were like, we have to tease this.
Yeah, facts. Teasing the Ho-Oh in the anime.
True. No, but that's Aura. That's different.
Ah, that was Aura. Lugia's Aura as well. All right, but this is getting into our Ninja Spinner review. We're
Yeah.
not talking about Perfect Order. We're talking about Ninja Spinner. This is Chaos Rising in English. Um, it's not a crazy set. We won't lie to you, but we got some good stuff here. And this is the big one. For rotation, fear not. We will only have to play like 2 months without disruption, because we are getting item-based disruption in the form of this special red card. It says when they have 3 or less prizes, you can hit them with the red card. They'll shuffle in and they'll shuffle to the bottom and draw 3 exactly. Um, so we're losing Iono. Everyone was like in Judge Harlequin like panic mode. Fear not, because we'll have this thing. Um, what do you think? The post rotation it still looks a little bleak. I'm seeing a lot of unfair stamp and like fast, petrol for the stamp, like play outs to get your petrol to get the stamp on turn 2. So this seems just like a budget version of that people will indeed play, but like is not really the like healthiest card, not the strongest kind of like equalizer in that Iono way.
Yeah, I think like what was so good about Iono is that it was in the supporter slot. So you don't have the whole like you can't boss an Iono in the same turn.
Yeah,
So there actually is like some thought process of being like, am I gonna boss and take 2 prizes, or am I gonna hit Iono and try and just knock out what's in the active? And I think that's like a really good choice.
yeah,
I think that's like that is the one thing about like the design. Not to get like too much into the current format, but I think the supporter pool is like really bad right now, where like there's not much options in like what supporter you should be playing. Where like, of course, last format we had like a huge card pool, and like there were a lot of supporters worth playing where you had to like actually make a choice of like, is it better to Arven? Is it better to, I don't know, research? Better
yeah,
to Iono Lilies? Like there is some kind of like choice.
yeah,
But now it's like every deck is just running 4 Lilies or like 4 Crispin.
yeah,
So it's just like that binary. But I think this card is like fine. It's gonna be like a one or two of index. Like I can't imagine you like even two might be a little aggressive.
yeah.
Um, I think in Japan I'm seeing just a lot of one-ups, which makes sense. You only get to use it really once a game because games like almost by nature don't go that long.
Right,
Um,
right. There's not a lot of turns after they take 3 prizes.
yeah. Um, I think I'm just interested to see how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, yeah. No, and like to your point about the supporter pool, like for some reason I feel like the F block rotation kind of like hit it like a truck. And I don't really
Mhm.
know how else to describe it. Like I feel like supporter pools after that kind of like suffered from that either like quad Iono, quad Crispin, quad research, quad Iono, like um there's a lot more nuance I think to it now. Well, not a lot more, but like Lily's makes it a bit more interesting. Um and like countercatcher is always great, but I definitely hear what you're saying there. And two with Iona, like I like that countercatcher exists with it as well because to
Yeah.
your point about you can't Iono and boss, you can Iono and gamble for a countercatcher though, and that's kind of a sick interaction too. Like the way it shuffles your own hand. Like yeah, you get a little draw off of it, always nice. Maybe not a lot depending on like the board state, but uh, you can kind of like gamble into certain things that you want to play that turn. So it values in that way as well.
Yeah. Like Countercatcher is maybe like one of the best designed cards
Yeah.
ever.
I want it back. All right, it's not even gone yet, and I want it back.
It's gone.
It's gone? I thought it were rotated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought we
That's just how
rotated
much you've been
on the
playing.
legality date.
Oh, never mind. Miscommunication. I'm on live, so like that's already.
Yeah,
I'm not
lives
playing
rotated.
any
Yeah.
more. I'm not playing any more like post or pre-rotation tournaments.
See, but if you're going to the
I'm,
cup tomorrow, that's gonna be nest ball. I
no,
don't
I
know.
ain't playing that. I ain't playing that.
You're not going to play Guardy?
No, no, no. I was trying to meta manipulate.
Yeah.
I think it would be so funny because I
Help Kenneth win with Grim Snarl.
no, Kenneth's in Orlando.
Oh, facts, facts.
Everybody is gone. There's gonna be no. It would actually be very funny if we have like a Guardy sweep the one time Keva isn't there.
True. Yeah, yeah. Wait, hands up
Uh,
if you whiffed your indie registration because I whiffed that shit.
no, I got it. Damn. Anyways,
Anyways, we got a Book of Transformation here. This is like you played two of them. We haven't had this effect in a while. I think the last one was like cross switcher or cross. It was like
yeah,
cross
crosscatcher.
receiver,
Yeah.
something like that. This was kind of before my time back in the E block. You need two books, but when you do it, you basically just get Thornton effect on two items. You switch one of your in-play basics with one of your discarded basics. Basic Pokemon, that is. So you switch
Mhm.
their position, and your new basic, noteworthy here, gets all the same, like, damage, energy, and most notably, turns in play. So the big Thornton play that you would used to do is like have some shitter on the bench, say it's like Rotom V. You can play Thornton in the late game to utilize Rotom V, switch it out for like a Charmander, and then you can rare candy Charmander on the same turn. Because Rotom V was already in play, so your Charmander counts as being in play. Um, Similar to like in GLC, we have the Ditto from Boundaries Crossed. It just sits on your bench, but it has the same effect where you can transform it into a basic. This is like a pretty powerful effect. Um, there's nothing to my mind in like standard that immediately calls to me with this card. I mean, we got like Ursa, the baby Ursaluna gets like some energies for free on it that you could like switch around. Um, I'm sure there are like some Evo decks that will find a way to use it, but it's two
Use it with.
items for a Thornton. You know what I mean?
I think this is like a Ogre Pawn card because you're drawing all of your
No, man. Ogre
press.
Mask is like a straight upgrade. I think you got hit with the Poké Duels bait, man.
No, because you use it for no, no. Am I not reading this card? You switch it for a non-ogre. So you accelerate your grass, and then you're like, oh, I want to use like one of my better attackers. I'm gonna use the Clefairy. I'm gonna use the what other decks are the slot playing? You
Yeah, you
put the
could do Fairy.
Kangaskhan. You're
But it's like
drawing.
E-Switch is one card, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're playing four of these. And you're drawing cards, and your hand's not getting disrupted.
That's true.
Imagine.
Except by Unfair Stamp.
No, that card's not real.
True, true, true.
I'm simply just not taking a knockout until I reach critical mass.
Real,
But
real.
imagine you get the ogre pawns, you're putting grass energy on all of them. You draw into this because you're drawing a card every single time,
Yeah.
and you draw both of these. And what am I gonna play? You Megas Kangaskhan would be a good one to push up. There has to be like other megas that are like basics that you
That
just have
use
problems accelerating.
grass. Mega
Well, they can.
Heracross, baby. Let's go.
I mean, what does Mega Heracross even do?
I don't
Let me
know.
pull that up.
Some bullshit.
Oh, it does 170, and then you discard the top two cards of your opponent's attack.
True. Hit their Unfair
Um,
Stamp. Then we're really cooking.
Yeah, it's always going to be the two cards that your opponent needs for game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta convince me though that this card is better than two E-switches in my deck, you know what I mean? I feel
Well,
like
you
the
just run
the
all of
Evo decks
them.
that really utilize this card the most can't really afford the space to like play four of them. When I think back to like Crossseaver and Cross Switcher, it's like these were like degenerate Pokestop decks that would just like burn their whole deck in 2 turns, you know? Um,
Yeah,
so they would get that value out of being like low maintenance in their game plan. To me, this card's kind of like, I don't know, its philosophy doesn't line up with its like own effect.
I'm looking at cards right now to see if I can think of anything that goes with this.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, it's like we have those, we have the
yeah,
ends plan. That's the card.
yeah.
You can already move 2 energies on a supporter, so like any of those energy effects is like,
Low-key, this card might
yeah.
actually be washed.
All right, so we'll skip that one. But
But I think it's
we
a
do
high
got,
potential.
yeah, high potential. Keep an eye
I
out for the book.
I would buy like a playset of these. If
Yeah,
you buy it, like it's one of those cards that I think is bound for getting broke at one point. There
yeah,
has to be like some kind of like other energy acceleration. Well, I think like the Ogre
yeah,
Pawn, if there's something worth doing where because like it's not abnormal for you to like have two grass on an Ogre Pawn, and then there's probably attackers that have like energy plus two colorless. So all you need to do is just like this double book and then attach from hand, and then you have like an attacker.
yeah.
But the
Or
question
you
is
could
like
play two
what?
E switches, and then you have an
Hmm,
attacker too. And you don't even have to put
yeah,
the discard. You don't have to put the basic you want in the discard. You could just put it on your bench.
yeah, that's fair.
Is E-switch rotating? Maybe I'm
No, E-switch
rage
is
baiting.
fine.
Okay.
No,
I was like,
no,
maybe
I
I'm
wish
rage
it was
baiting so
rotating.
hard. Someone's screaming at their
Have,
screen.
have you seen the slot box decks?
Yeah, this is
It's
like
like
the Lily's deck, right? Lily's
yeah, it's
Ogre
like four
Pawn.
lilies, four ogre pawns, four E-switch.
You're playing the
That's what I'm thinking.
pearls.
That's what I'm thinking is like something like that where you're already playing these ogre pawns, you're drawing your entire deck.
Yeah.
But I guess like why would you just not E-switch? That's kind of the
Yeah, it's got a clear E-switch. It's got to have like some kind of Evo playability, I think. Because that's like
yeah.
that was the real bit with Thornton. It was like, I mean, we're losing
Yeah.
Turo, so you can't really manage your own bench except with like AZU, and that's like, you have to do the Chen Pao stuff. It's a lot of work. Um, but even to
True.
me, that sounds like better than this. No
Yeah,
offense
I'm
to the book
coping.
lovers, but keep it in your mind. I think too, like it could be better with like more broken stuff down the road.
True.
Oh, we got Beedrill. Beedrill's coming
Yeah,
out
I think this card's good.
in Chaos Rising. Um, Stage 2, and you're doing for 1 grass, 110 times the number of Beedrills you have in play. Um, so with the Forest of Vitality, you could spam out 3 Beedrills maybe, 330 for one. What do we think?
I think it let me actually check to see if there's another Beedrill. I don't think there is. Uh but
Mm.
I think this card is so there is another Beedrill that was in 2009 that I think won
Oh yeah, yeah.
World.
Speedrill.
That's like the same idea. But there was like other Beedrills that were good in format.
Yeah,
Um and this, from what I'm seeing, is the only Beedrill in format. So
real.
yeah, because the 151 just rotated. Because I think the whole issue with this deck, one, I think it is like a really sick attack, especially with all the other grass support. Because you run this, you probably run the ogres also. Um, and it's just one, so it's like super economical. You have like the forest, so you can evolve this
Bug catching set, of
um,
course. Ogre
bug
pawn,
catching
of
set.
course.
So you have all this grass energy. The problem is that there's no professor's research in format, and this is a research deck to the core.
Yeah.
There's no research, there's no squawk. So I think this is like a high potential card. The problem is I just don't know if the card pool allows it. Of course, like
Yeah.
you have a lilies, but like with a deck like this, you just want to see new cards.
Yeah, and you have like one Carmine, but that's
Yeah,
that's not really even comparing to Squawk.
Carmine is like so bad. I
It
think
is bad, yeah. I'd never want to play that card. No, thank you.
um yeah, you have to run like probably four Pokepad, probably. Well, I guess there's no point in running like I'm trying to even think about what this deck would look like
Hmm.
because you have to like go through your deck, but you don't have those mechanisms now. Uh, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think this is another one where it's like I would buy,
Yeah.
I would add this to the buy list
Four
because
four
it is
four.
something that's like worth cooking.
Yeah, and it is kind of statted out. Like three B drills is a lot to get out, but 330 for one is a lot of damage to do. And like even 220 for one is like really efficient attack. So keep the B drill on your buy list. 444. Get some Forest of Vitality if you didn't. Get that growing grass energy maybe. With it on your bug catching set. No, that sounds bad. Uh Certainly though. I'm excited to see it. I like a little B drill, a little Gen 1.
Yeah,
Next up, we got the namesake, of course. Mega Greninja's coming out. Now, I didn't really play when like Greninja Break was a thing, or like I think Inteleon Urshifu was doing like similar stuff.
mhm,
Mega Greninja says Stage 2, of course, with the ability you can discard a water from your hand, place 6 counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And then for 2 water, it does some damage, and you can put a water back in your hand to have it do some more. 200 for 2 total.
mhm.
So not a ton of base damage, but obviously the control of having those 6 counters anywhere you want uh, is kind of nasty. Um, what are you thinking about this? I have not seen it in lists, but it seems like a pretty potent effect.
Yeah, it's like I'm already a repeating record because it's one of those cards that I think has like a lot of potential, but the card pool is just not really there because you have so you put the damage counters on like the 60. It's kind of the same thing as like Dragapult right now, where it absolutely destroys the like the single prizer decks
Yeah,
because you can just put so much board damage on. But Dragapult is like broken right now because of Dragcloak.
right, right.
Because you have like this super efficient line where it's like the Dreepy is like good. It doesn't have a weakness. It's like 70, so that's like the most you would want out of it. The only thing that would make it better is if it like had collect or like poison or something.
Sure.
So it really is like a top tier basic that you're gonna evolve into. Dracloak is probably the best stage one Pokemon right now in format. I don't even know if there are other stage ones that are worth
Yeah,
playing. I guess like definitely the stage one where you're gonna evolve into something else.
right, right.
It's just like such an insane draw engine because not only do you get to look at two cards and pick one, you get to know exactly where that other card is in your deck.
Hmm.
Um, and then like Dragapult is like no weakness. You have to do 320 damage because you don't have Devo now. So you have like this perfect machine, and you then look at Greninja, and what does the other things in this line even do? Is there like,
Nothing. No shady dealings. No recon directive. I don't think they're doing nothing.
let me pull up this Frogadier.
I think
If
there
the
used to be a
Frogadier,
Frogadier with like Mirage Step.
yeah, Water Shuriken, I think was its name. No, that was the ability. Water Duplicates
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was its name. Uh, yeah, so the Frogadier has like a pretty interesting attack. For one water, search your deck for up to three Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Hmm. That's not horrible.
That is like, it's not horrible, but it is like, especially whenever there's not much hand disruption.
Yeah. It's cope
But
compared to Drakloak.
yeah, essentially. Because the whole other thing is you have to push this in the active with the Dracloaks. You can draw your three cards and then hit Itchy Pollen and then like fill up your soda.
Hmm.
Um, this is just like 200 to the active. It's essentially the same thing as the Dragon Ball, but
Yeah.
also you have to dedicate all six to one thing, as opposed to Dragon Ball that can choose where to put those six.
Right. Much more precisely.
So it's just like um
Does this thing even clear the other Greninja? The fighting Greninja?
I don't know. I guess you can run both in a deck actually, now that I think about it.
Because that
So
card
that
is
could be
just like it is kind of strong. It does like 170 for one and also like custom searches any card. Like it's got a quick search on its attack. And then
yeah,
it
that's a
does
good
like
point.
the 120, you know, rapid strike, 120 to 2, discard all your energy, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think the merit of Mega Greninja is that you can use its ability twice in a turn. So you attack once, retreat, put it again, push another one, use the same attack or same effect, 60, and then
Swing with the second one.
yeah.
Yeah, it does only have one retreat, which is nice. Oh, it
Yeah.
has to be active? No, man, never mind.
Yeah.
All
It
right,
has to be active.
next up is Cobalion EX. Holy moly, man, I cannot believe. Next up
Yeah.
is Cobalion EX. This has got like a little metal effect on it. Metal Road is the rough translation. I don't know what it's actually. But when you move it from the bench to the active, you can cheat the metal energy from your other Pokemon to the Cobalion, and then it's doing 200 for 3. So this is kind of like Iron Leaves with extra steps. Like you gotta move it to the active yourself, but when you do, you get all that metal energy. I've actually heard the murmurings of post-rotation metal box, metal Metang, kind of decks with
Mm.
like maybe Heatran, maybe um, the new Metagross, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's they're still cooking it, but I'm hearing about metal, so this seems like kind of a decent card to have in that pool.
Maybe um the worst thing is that it has three retreat. That's so
Yeah,
crazy. It has three retreat and 200 doesn't kill anything. It doesn't kill Ogerpon. It doesn't
no.
kill. What does it even? Oh, it kills
Fez
Meowth.
doesn't kill Fez. Does
Doesn't kill
not kill
Fez.
Latias.
Does not kill. Yeah, Latios has Dark Week
Yeah.
for sure.
Who's the Metal Weak Pokemon nowadays? It's like just what, Diancie? Is Mega
Yeah,
Guardy Fairy Week?
yeah, but nobody's playing that shit. Oh, I think Mega Frostlass is, and that card is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mega
That,
Frostlass
that could be
is.
okay.
It could be if like we ever have.
But
It's one of those
Frostlass
where
meta.
it's yeah.
That'll be the day, man.
I guess it's also one of those where it's like, if you find this in the bulk, if you find this in the binder for $1, like, might as well.
Yeah, just pop one. Keep it handy. You'll probably never play it, but keep it handy.
Yeah,
Metal is like fun, and Matang is like, a pretty potent card for what it does. Um, and we're keeping it. We get a little poison package in this set. There's like this Mega Dragalge, which can, for a water and a dark, poison for 16 counters. And there's this kind of Mickey supporter it came with that's like, if they're poisoned, you can like lock them from retreating for a turn or something.
not so bad.
It's kind of bad, but like 16 is kind of a lot. I don't think
Oh,
I've
I was
ever
talking about
seen.
the supporter.
Oh, yeah. Well, poison for 16 is like. I feel like I've never seen a higher poison number. That's like knocking out most anything that's not like a huge mega on that
Mhm.
second turn. So it's like, you gotta move. You gotta move if you get hit with the Dragalge.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe like the retreat lock is fine. Um,
What will
how do you get
grief
out of
you?
retreat lock? Because you can't
Yeah.
Turo, you can't Penny,
You got
you
Petcharon.
can't. Oh, true, but you have to be having a deck that can use Petron.
Right, right. Yeah, what do like Kangaskhan decks play to switch?
Evital.
Just
The
Petcharon Eviltal?
Yeah, you can do that. There's like a couple other dark types that are worth it, but like Evital is really good because it's free retreat.
Yeah.
Or you just play like whatever dark with Latias.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it's like what you can
Right. They
do.
don't really play like switch me cards, like actual switches.
Yeah, you have to retreat lock this actually because everybody's been running Latias.
Yeah.
So this gets like hard countered by a card that's like a staple in everything.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, the Petron's gonna grief you if you're trying to play Roxy's Dragalge here. Um, but it's kind of a slick combo. I mean, if they don't have the Petron, if they're not Tekken switches, it's just like kind of something I guess to keep us honest, keep a switch in the deck.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. As well, we got this Patrat. Now,
One thing.
oh yeah, yeah.
This Mega Tricagle is going to go
No, it's not.
insane and
I gotta say,
expanded.
it is not Dragaggle. This is Dragalge,
Whatever.
like dragon algae,
Dragalge?
dragging these,
Dragaggle? This is not Dragaggle.
dragging this algae on your face.
I don't I don't think I've ever like said this Pokemon's name out loud now that I think about it. Yeah, but this card's gonna go crazy and expanded. That first attack, you play it in Regidrago, and you're never gonna open it.
Oh,
And
true, but
your
you cut your
opponent's gonna
fob
play
on.
Lugia,
Oh
and
my God, you're right.
you just wipe it, or even in the mirror. Like
Yeah,
you
holy shit,
wipe all of
actually.
their dragon, and then it's also like an option where you can be like, oh, I could just put like 16 damage counters on you.
Right, right. Low key, is this an expanded patch? Corrosive Liquid says discard all tools and special energies from your opponent's Pokemon. That's kind of nutty, no?
Yeah, and it's all of your opponent's Pokemon. So
Yeah.
it's like a total board
Right. Holy moly, yeah. No,
wipe.
good keen eye there. I think this might be a Reggie Drago, like patch here for the expanded players, all 10 of them.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Anyway, Patrat.
Yeah, we got Patrat as well here. Also, it's worth noting that fusion energy is just gonna like block that whole fucking thing, I'm pretty sure. But anyway,
True,
Patrat.
true. Nobody's playing that shit though.
Facts, facts. I think Patrat was kind of a flop. I heard people saying like the discourse was like around counter cards and like if they are even good game design, which makes me think that this card is gonna flop. But it says Patrat, basic, colorless type 70 HP. If it's in play, you and your opponent cannot move any damage counters at all. This is obviously just targeting the one guy who does that. You know his name. It's Monkey Dory. Um, I, I mean, it's just like every card that could counter Monkey Dory is probably just better as a Monkey Dory. You know what I mean? Because in any
Right.
matchup where they don't have Monkey Dory, now you have Monkey Dory and you get that awesome advantage of having it. But it's like if they have Monkey Dory also, if you're both on Monkey Dory decks, like it's actually just better to throw it back at them and like, stay even rather than like trying to stop them and playing this busted ass patch rat, man. I don't know about that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like our festival deed soldiers are gonna be playing Shaman. Their board's gonna be Thwacky on the bench, uh Diplin in the active. Applin? Which one's the big one?
Yeah, Diplin.
Diplin in the active, one Thwacky on the bench,
Yeah.
and then you got Psyduck, Rapska, Shaman,
And now
and
Patra, yeah.
and now Patra.
Nah, it's criminal, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not playing this Patra. It's just
I
kind
don't
of
know if
like one of those
anybody.
cards where it's like they so clearly regret printing Monkey Dory. They've
Yeah.
printed like multiple busted counters to it that just like don't even see play. Same thing with like Dustnor, right? Like Psyduck is nice because it actually works as a Dustnor counter, and like the way Dustnor decks are kind of built, like they have to like eat their own bench slots. They don't have quite as strong a game plan without it. Um, so the Psyduck is like actually valuable. I don't know about this thing, man.
Yeah, I think it's don't don't even pick this up in the bulk low key.
Yeah, skip the Patrat. You'll see plenty of them.
Ampharos?
Yeah, we got some more. These are more like GLC type cards. A little new Amphi. We're always looking at new Ampharos because like Flaffy has Dynamotor. Um, so like as soon as the first playable Ampharos comes out, it's going in every Lightning deck. With the Flaffy, of course. This one has an ability that says if you have the same number of cards in hand, you do 80 more, and then for 2 energy, it does 140. Um, so we're talking about 220, which is really, really a lot of damage. But Okidogi has 230, man. Why couldn't they just make it 10 more? That's so criminal.
This was just a boulder also. You're pre-setting up the boulder turn.
True, true. Yeah, you're giving them the boulder. They're gonna top deck and just they're ready.
No, because the psychic player always has a boulder on the bench.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's like what their deck does.
Yeah. No, that's tough, but I think the boulder proves to like hitting equal number is like pretty natural in most
Yeah.
moments of the game, so like it's not the hardest thing to do, and I think this
Well,
one
psychic
will
has better
will
draw.
find its way into some decks. Psychic does a way better draw, man. Damn.
Electric has like one of the worst draw engines.
Yeah. They're like last in line for real, for real.
If like if your opponent has more than 7 cards in hand, you are not hitting this.
True, yeah, actually. Back it up.
This one's going to the bulk bin.
If they have 4 or less cards, though, you are cooking. Holy yeah,
Yeah,
you are cooking. Let's go. We're so back.
true.
Now, shout out to Ampharos. I think it's worth testing.
Yeah, I would test it. Like this is probably bulk, but if you're an electric truther,
Yeah,
you gotta at least try this out.
yeah. We want to see it. Next up, we got Deoxys. Now, I was getting kind of triggered in our locals chat when this card came out because I thought it was like crazy, crazy strong. And, well, it is quite strong. It's a basic, it's got 120 HP. For 3 energy, it does 120. And if it's got at least 2 extra energy, it's doing 120 to a bench Pokemon. Now, this effect is very similar to Amazing Rare Raikou. It's the exact same effect. 120 to the active, 120 to a bench. That card is banned in Gym Leader Challenge for being too strong. Um, it's the kind of attack that can. I mean, it's like 240 on the face of it, right? But more value than that is you are often knocking out two Pokemon at once. And in GLC, any format really, two Pokemon might be like the entire core of your board state at a given moment. So being able to like target two pretty hefty Pokemon, like really any support Pokemon is folding to this, and not every attacker, but like a lot of attackers are gonna fall to this as well, like Hopscram, um, anything like lower Druddigan, I guess, uh, is folding to this. This seems like a crazy powerful effect. We've talked at length about Psychic's ways to accelerate energy. It's got it in spades. They even have a Gardevoir that doubles energy. Doesn't even see play because it's like outclassed by two other Curlia evolutions. So like we don't even talk about that one, but it's there. What do you think of this card? How does it read to you?
I think it's insane. I think that like the place this opens up is so toxic. Because like
Yeah,
120 to 2 is so crazy. Like I'm thinking about, well, with effects that do something similar, normally it comes with a discard, which means that you can't like chain it. With this, you have to like return knock it out or else
you lose.
it
You
can do it
lose.
again.
You lose. Yep.
So I'm just like I'm theorizing this turn where you
Lux
play
Cape
like
it.
a lost, yeah,
Lost
Lux
City,
Cape.
Lux. Oh
You
my god,
put
man.
lost, you put Lost City, and you 120 like. There's some decks if you 120 inactive, if you like get a Guzma off and like pull up like I don't know, like Rock's probably or Dogi has like probably no um I don't know
It's psychic weak.
answer.
Yeah. It's always
Yeah, it
hitting
probably has no
240
answer to Dogi and then Lost City Dogi
and a
and like
rock.
knock out one of the rocks.
Oh my
The deck
god, man.
probably
The
has
game's
no
over. The
answer.
game is literally over in an instant.
Like there's no answer. And like that's like a deck that has a lot of options. Like if you're playing against some of these lower tier decks, you slam down a Lost City. If you're going against, I don't know, like colorless, you can probably like find two things, knock out and destroy it. Knock out the squirrel, knock out. I think what barrel is like
The
also
barrel's
120.
120. Yep, yep, yep.
I think a Rangaroo is like 130. No, it might be
No, I think it
120.
is 120. Yeah.
There's just so many things that are like 120.
Yeah.
In the mirror, if you knock out like the Natsu and the Malamar, like that's crazy. And I think
Yeah.
that like the Gardevoir, there was some resistance in the local chat on like playing the Gardevoir,
Yeah.
but I think the whole idea is why don't you run Gardevoir and Gallade?
Ooh.
Because you can run like a split evolution if you see this play going up. The Curlia like adds so much value.
Yeah.
Um, well, also like the base Gardevoir. I think like another play would be the Shining Arcana Gardevoir. You play Cypher Maniacs or like Malo.
Yeah, yeah.
Two Psychic, Shining Arcana, two on.
Right.
Uh,
Just work out, get the three
and
the normal
then
way.
yeah, just pull it out, and then you
Zatu
just hit
Mally
120,
attach.
120.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Wondrous Patch Raihan. There's so much you can do to get this to work.
Right, right.
Like I think like I think there's cooks you can do.
Yeah.
I personally think like Lost City is very underutilized in GLC because there's so many decks that like want to be looping stuff,
Yeah.
and like this is something that you can probably get out like pretty early. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about like Tina pacing. Like I always like Gengar in my psychic for having something early to put pressure on with.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Because like you don't want to use your Monkey Dory. Like Confusion's awesome, but you don't want to risk that guy being in the active. So like I really like Gengar for that reason. And Tina's a little slow to get up. She takes 3 energy, so like it's usually after Zatu comes up, after Malamar comes up. You're done like setting up your real concrete board. That the 3+ energy attackers start coming out. And now I think like Boulder obviously fills that early game slot where you just kind of like cheat with Dimension Valley, obviously. But um, no, I mean this is crazy, and like Psychic has just never had a reason to attach 5 energy to one Pokemon. Now it does, and I
Mhm.
think we're gonna see exactly how quickly it can do it, and how efficiently this kind of attack effect can ruin your day.
Yeah, crazy card.
Yeah. No, we gotta keep pushing though. Do cook this thing though, and note that the old Gardevoir, the next Destiny's Gardevoir, only basic energies. So you can't cheat with your counter. I mean, you can use counter to like get the effect. You could even use double turbo to get the effect. Um, but you need 3 psychics, and the Gardevoir only doubles the basics. Um, we gotta keep pushing though, because we got a few more things to cover here. One is this Crobat.
You want to do rapid fire?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. Back to back here.
Crobat busted. I think Crobat's really good.
Crobat's busted. It's got one retreat. It searches your deck
Okay, never mind.
for a guard and it puts it on top of the deck, which like is cool. We just got this Grimsley supporter, so you can like kind of guarantee yourself a Grimsley. The attack is like decently disruptive and it only costs 1, but it's got a retreat, so it's like smooth over in the active only. This is like nice for Dark to have because its main engine is trade, but it's not enough, I don't think. Worth testing though, worth testing.
Yeah, I agree.
What's
I thought
next?
it was. It seems like a card that would have free retreat,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now that I know that,
L.
no.
L
Big
retreat.
catch net. This card's actually busted. 3 Pokemon and 3 water into your deck.
Yep.
That's like a supporter on an item.
It's an ordinary rod and a half.
True. It's 2 super rods.
Straight up, 2 super rods.
And
Now, super
GLC, it's
crazy.
2 super rods.
Yeah. No, it's. I think this is a good card for the water pool. Like, I feel like they've been kind of struggling with the thing that this card is like buffing them with, which is like kind of that recovery, discard to hand, discard to deck. So it's good to see like some of that just get compressed into this busted,
Yeah.
very on brand card. Next up, we got Felipe. Philippe. This is like
Busted.
metal acceleration on a supporter. It's basically blacksmith. You attach 2 metal energy from your discard to one of your metal Pokemon, and that's it. It's on a supporter, so it is eating your supporter for turn, of course. But metal has like great 3 energy attackers. I feel like they're the 3 energy attacker type. Archaludon, Dialga, um, Zamazenta, obviously. Uh, 3 is just like a great count for them, so this seems like a pretty playable card to me. I like the recovery aspect of it too. What do you think?
I think this opens up like new decks in the same way. Like there's some decks that
Hmm.
really are good at looping. And I think like Zamazenta is one of the best cards in format.
Yeah,
And I think there has to be like a way to loop Zamazenta and
and a Felipe.
try and get Felipe. You have like Palpad, you have Versus Seeker. Like you have ways to run this, and you probably get the value out of like
Yeah.
two
We've
or three.
seen,
If you can do 3 Zamazenta, and there's like other ways to pilot it. I think like
oh
there
yeah.
is potential in like a Zamazenta loop deck.
Yeah, and we've seen like Turbo Metal, like Pokestop with the Crunch Time Rush, uh, Orthworm. Shouts Count Sliku. So I'm confident we'll see this card.
And I think the next card synergizes with the loop magnet energy.
Yeah,
Like you put that on like a beneficial like active sitter
yeah, yeah,
and you recurse the like Zamazenta or whatever attacker you want to loop.
yeah, yeah.
And just keep on pushing it into the active, and you just have like people don't really run like special energy removal too much. Um,
Yeah, it comes and it goes.
yeah, I think we might be getting to the point where it might should be coming back.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Um, but no, this is so great for metal. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
Floatstone is kind of like the best card in metal because it's always some shitter is getting trapped. Um, so just having this extra truly free retreat, it's not even like it's better than mystery energy because it's actually no retreat costs. You can't like get scammed or anything. So I like this a lot. I mean, it seems like just a nice buff to have. Put it on your Rev of Room, put it on your Bronzong, and just like sleep easy at night. So that's the
I
Ninja
agree.
Spinner review. I mean, we got some decent stuff in here. And I think these GLC cards too, like Deoxys especially. I mean, but to see these
Yeah,
like water and metal cards is always a great thing.
yeah, I think the two metal cards are like really exciting because they're good enough where you kind of have to re-examine like the rest of the metal pool.
Yeah. No, that's so factual. And like I think that about even like cards that are already out and the way they interact. Like the way we build decks is like we can only build what we like know how to build, and I think there is so much like interaction and stuff that is maybe like yet uncovered that every new card is like really rocks. It can rock the whole card pool in a way that's hard to foresee. So keep cooking. We're excited to see some lists. And we're excited to see your lists. Drop them in the email. If you're trying to cook these cards, we want to see
True.
that shit early. We want to put you on blast, and we want to see what you got. And speaking of Austin, do we have some emails in our inbox?
Yeah, we have two. We have two really great
Ooh,
topics. Let me let me get started. So we have one person who I think wants to shout out.
facts.
One person who has an anonymous. I think we got to come up with an alias for them.
True, true. Wait, let me get some
Um
like random words here.
uh I'll read the first one. Hello, the Clubhouse podcast. This is Edwin, a longtime fan. I think an excellent idea for the podcast is timed versus untimed top cut and a cup debate featuring the the milkman. I don't know if I should be saying his full name. Uh, thanks, Ed. And then he posted a picture of Miltank. Um,
True, true.
local reference, a local deep cut for real.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the okay, some local context for
Right, right.
this. One of the stores in the area or one of the tournament organizers is a big fan of untimed top cut. And this has been like a routine debate, and I'm kind of over it at this point. Like I I've had my discussions and I think I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. I'm honestly not in top cut enough where it actually matters, but I am in the carpools where I have to stick
Yeah.
around.
True, true.
So what are your thoughts?
No, I'm in the same boat. Like I don't be hitting cut like that. Our GLC tournaments don't have any kind of top cut, so it's not particularly relevant to me. But it's not going to stop me from having opinions, okay?
Yeah.
Um, we joke about the players union sometime protesting against the untimed cut. I mean, no, I think for all the same reasons we have timed Swiss, timed regionals, timed everything else. Top cut at my local league cup should probably also be timed. Um, I I personally see where this TO's coming from because like when I'm watching like a regionals or even worse, like the worlds, and that shit ends on time and it's like they don't even finish the damn game they're playing. I feel this kind of weird thing where it's like, okay, we should like resolve some of these games. Um, when I'm like watching the World Championship, I want to see who the best Pokemon player is. I want to see through like a best of five of the Pokemon trading card game or whatever. Like, I don't want it to be any like kind of time meta stuff like that. Um, I want it to be all on the board. But that being said, we are humans with jobs and hobbies out even outside of the Pokemon trading card game. Some of us have other hobbies after that and, let alone like chores to do and shit. Um League Cups can take a long time and yeah, I would want timed cut for sure. Because as well, like it's regional practice, like anyone trying to grow as a player, get ready for maybe their first regional. They're like, I'm cutting all these locals. Let me go get into these regionals. Make a day two. It helps prepare that best of three format a lot better. And I think you could even make it like 75 minutes if you want to. That's a little crazy. Most people probably don't even need that, but like at least then you can get them off your back.
Yeah, I think that's I think that is the logical conclusion to this whole debate is not cap it at 50
Yeah,
and reach like that's maybe like even 60
60.
would
Right, because
be pretty
regionals like
good. That's an
60, right?
extra, it's 50. 50 plus 3.
50 plus 3, that's so crazy.
Yeah. And
Regionals
I
are
think that
insane,
like
man.
yes. I think the whole there is like a valid argument where it's like 15 minutes is just not enough to play 3 full games.
Yeah,
But like there's so many times where I think like most regional games would actually complete 3 with 60 plus 3.
yeah.
75 I think is like what they do on Top Cut streams.
Okay, okay.
So there is like an argument for that. But
Yeah,
I think
that's
there's
that's the
like
highest I would go for a local.
I think like I think there is a sweet spot. But everybody like nobody wants to be stuck there all day. And it also is like the tournament organizers and judges have to stick around. The staff have to stick around. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
For us, our tournaments don't go, they start early in the morning and then like if you're in Top Cut, you're getting out at like maybe 6 or 7. If you make it into the very end and it's like untimed Top Cut and like one side of the bracket is like taking their sweet time.
Right, right.
Um, but I don't know. I think that's where they're at. Sound off in the comments because I think
Yeah.
this is a very big discussion point, and maybe I can compile all of this as our Chicago player union rep and send it to this TO.
I'm not playing in any cuts until my union rep is present.
For real. Do you want
No,
to
for
move on to
sure.
the other one? Any other thoughts?
Yeah. Nah, those are my thoughts. Um, and as well, I got a fake name here for us from this random name generator. I believe this next email is from our lovely viewer, Freddie Townsend, submitted this next one. Um,
Oh,
what did Freddie submit for us?
okay. Freddie said, "Good evening, my favorite Pokemon themed podcast. I have 2 topics of conversation I would love to hear your answers on. The basis of both is that people often and will until the day they stop playing complain about a format not being fun. However, I think it's clear when asking most people how they solve the underlying issue, they either can't define the problem or could not give a practical solution other than quotation, make my deck the best, make it the most fun, make everyone else's worse. That's bars.
True. So true.
I respect both of you for your deep knowledge of the game and would love to hear your take on how do you improve the two main formats currently, but with a specific parameter. How do we want to approach this? Do we want to answer one and then move on to the second? Or should I read the rest of it?
Let's do one first.
Okay. Question one. If you wanted to immediately improve the current standard format, but your only power was to remove a single card and add a single card, can be anything you want, even fictional, what would you add slash subtract and why?
Ooh,
I think I have an answer.
that's a banger question.
I
Cause I,
think this is like a really good like thought experiment of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
what is the gatekeeper card?
right.
And I think there's two really good answers. One is the cope, which is Monkey Dory.
Mm,
Because I don't think that is like a big problem in standard at the moment. I'm talking about post rotation standard.
yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
like
yeah,
where we gotta focus.
yeah. That's good.
Because like Monkey is fine right now. Gardevoir isn't running around, which that's like the big monkey culprit.
Yeah.
Um, and I think like the other monkey decks have gotten like a lot worse. The real problem is the Dragapult line. And I think within that, you have like two cards you can hit. Either it's the Dragapult EX, which is like the by far best attacker.
Yeah.
And that card gatekeeps so many of the single prizers and forces and it enables a lot of the like slot box decks creations.
Mm-mm.
Um, and then the other is to just hit the Drakloak. But I think
Yeah.
that keeping the Drakloak is actually better because it opens up it
Norm.
to be used as a draw engine.
Right, right. Normal decks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Dragapult is the card I would get rid of.
Yeah. You remember when Dragapult came out and it kind of flopped?
Yeah, because it didn't have Badoo. It didn't have Badoo, it
Didn't
didn't
have
have Ghosts.
Badu?
It didn't have
Yeah.
Night Stretcher. Also the format was just like a lot quicker.
Yeah. Right. That's what I more mean to point to is like, um, I think this card would be like normal if it just like had a normal stage one, you know? It would just be kind of like some decent
Yeah.
post rotation deck maybe where it's like, yeah, you're gonna slow roll into these stage twos with your Badus, you know, um, and have like a nice spread kind of late game. But with the Dracloaks, it's so crazy. Um, when I think about like format health in general, I'm always thinking about trainers. Because for me, like all the like attackers, the controllers, or the supporting Pokemon, you know, like they're kind of like interchangeable and they'll always be like tuned to whatever like current era it is, you know. You had Stantler way back in the day. Okay, we have like Mega Absol now. Obviously like similar effects but like way different kind of grades of power. But like still kind of suggesting that like the same thing is good. It's like a nice attack to have in the format. Um, and I agree with that. Like I think hand pressure is cool. Um, but I'm always thinking about like trainers and the formats I like, what kind of trainers they have. I've only played like a small handful of retro formats, but I'm thinking about Counter Catcher first and foremost. Love that card. I would add it already to the new standard format because to me it's just like so healthy. To have that extra bit of like priority on your turn when you are behind specifically. And I think very naturally, like EXs play well with that. We had it's got a, like some long ass name, but the counter catcher from '06 that is like rockets, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's got like crazy text because
Pow
there
Hand
used to
Machine.
be yeah, 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 pow. Um, Yeah, like the POW is so great to have that kind of two prize like race that is like not quite, it like gives the counter catcher player like even a little bit more advantage, which is kind of nice for playing this less flexible card. I think about Briny from that same format and is analogous
Mm.
to like Turo or Penny, just letting you pick up any Pokemon. Um, Recycle maybe on Evo effects. Um, so these are the cards to me that like call to me as good format cards. The ones that like interact with the board in a way that is like creating I'm trying to find the words here. It's like creating games that like just allow you to kind of do your thing. If it's like Evo your favorite guy out, um, target your opponent's resources in a way that is like well catered to, this attacker or that attacker. For like kind of like the Absol Stantler, it's like uh, stuff that enables long, kind of expressive turns, maybe sequency kind of cards. I don't know. Um, for me though, my like knee jerk answer is counter catcher for standard. For GLC, I don't know, cause like for as long as I've been playing, the staples have been the staples, and like it's kind of hard for me to imagine a new GLC staple.
Yeah, that's more in the question too. I think I am thinking about like what card I would add, and the first thing I'm thinking of is N, because I we just
Mm,
had Iono for like 3 years,
yeah,
and I think like Iono has like a really interesting spot, but I think that like right now we have a lot of like shuffle draw, and I think that like that would be an interesting thing for players to like adapt to. Where Iono is like you put your cards at the bottom, but with N there is like a different like risk reward of like you're shuffling it, there's a chance that like your opponent can draw into the same cards again or not. I think that would be like an interesting thing. There's one
what do
other
you
card like while you were talking. I think like Turo was another card. I think like if it didn't rotate, it would be like pretty healthy.
talking about forever staples? What do you think about like Judge as kind of a, because we've had Judge in a lot of forms for a long ass time.
I think it's like it is a feel bad card.
It's Yeah, I agree. I kind of think the same about N, to be honest. I think Iono, even for the like mental tax of having to like shuffle your deck,
Yeah.
like I think Iono's kind of it's a feel better card in that respect.
Well, I think that like Iono has like a lot higher skill expression that
Yeah,
it enables because there is like it's one of those things you pick up almost by like watching other people do it. Is like you hit Iono, you look at your cards and you mentally like register like what is in your hand and like you know it's at the bottom now.
right, right.
And there's the whole thing of like, okay, am I gonna just like play a search card just to like shuffle it, or am I fine actually keeping it at the bottom?
Yeah. Or
So there
like,
is like
do I even know that the stuff I want is near the top? I'm gonna hit all my Dracloaks now, for example.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that like Iono really makes Dragapult strong for that reason.
Mm,
Like you just have nothing in your hand, you Iono, you draw like your fresh six, and then you get to see if you have three Draclokes, you get to see the next six.
yeah,
You get to see 12 cards.
yeah, yeah,
And flying there's like no Fez, then you can see even more. So essentially, like you can see like a really high percentage. You can know the order of a really high percentage of it.
yeah,
So I think that like if you don't hit Dragapults, then like you can't add in both Iono, I think. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
I
I'm kind of fine leaving Iono behind for now.
I think like it is good to have cards come in and out of the format or out of it. Like Iono, there was a huge gap between Iono and N. It was like a whole block essentially. There was Marnie actually in between.
Yeah, Marnie. There was
Um,
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
That's kind of a feel bad
Um,
card though.
and I think it's fine to like let cards like define an era. And that's why I'm like maybe N is like it's a time for it to come back.
Yeah, but I just don't want like to me
I
like
think that
shuffle your opponent's hand and shuffle my hand in the late game and I'm trying to like stuff you all the time. It's just like I don't know. To me it's like just like a check. It's like not really like I see what you're saying about the expressiveness of Iona in particular, but to me all these cards are just like I'm hitting you with it because, you know, it's what we do. Like I'm trying to stop you from making your play in this like critical turn. Um, and
yep, that's based.
yeah, it is based, but I guess I just wish there were like more or different ways to disrupt people. Like I think about
Yes.
Hex.
True. Hex would
Hex,
be a really interesting card to come
yeah,
back.
real talk. Like Hex is a kind of disruption supporter that it's on a whole different level. Like it's doing an entirely different thing, but it's blocking your opponent's gameplay in a super significant way. Um, and it eats that supporter slot. Um, you know, I think there's some degree of expression with it, like when you hex or like the certain kinds of Pokemon you can play yourself under hex, and this is like a lot more applicable to GLC right now because you know hex is not standard legal, but if it were, I think that would be kind of sick, no?
Yeah, I'm actually so there is a caveat that it can be like a fictional card.
Yeah,
And I do think like I think that there is probably like caveats you could add to Hex to make it like a really interesting card and like open up strategies. Like
yeah,
the first thing that comes to mind is like you can only play this if you're like behind on prizes
sure, sure.
and then like your opponent can't use abilities next turn.
Yeah,
And but the other idea is like you can only this effect is only in play if you have no rule box Pokemon on your field.
true. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you have to be like destitute. And it's like it would be like a weird thing where it would be like maybe it almost as a stadium. Another thing, no, never mind. You cannot have Path to the Peak in this format
Bring
because
back path.
Dragapult would be abusing that crazy.
No, no, man. We
We
don't
would
need
have
path.
Path at the Peak right now would actually maybe introduce the first tier -1 deck.
Yeah, I would hate to get hit with the path of Dragapult, man.
But I think right now the thing that like we need is like single prizers to like be good or like some way where you can combat Dragapult. Um, which I don't know. There probably is like a card that like as soon as we end this, I'm gonna immediately think of it and be like, okay, this would fix the meta.
Yeah,
But I think Hex is interesting. Well, there's so many cards that I'm thinking of right now that are like just left or left like 2 years ago that
yeah.
are fine.
You know, it'd be
Um,
interesting too. Would be like a channeler or like a Pokemon Ranger that removes all
yes.
the effects in play. So this could like break item lock back in the Seismitoad days, I think was why it got printed. Um, I don't know what channeler was for, to be honest. Probably some Sun and Moon craziness that I never heard of. But uh, in any case, like breaking item lock sounds like a pretty exciting thing. Or if it was like it could break Hex, that would be kind of insane. Like had to have Hex in its own counter. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I think Garbodor would be a really good
Ooh,
card
we have Tool
because
Scrapper.
it shuts off the Dracolux.
Yep.
It shuts off the Zoroarks. It shuts off the Ogrepons.
Yeah.
And I think there's like some really interesting decks. There's Tool Scrapper. There's Jamming Tower. Jamming Tower actually doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Um, because you just need a tool. We don't have Floatstone, which is like really good. I think if they
Yeah.
like maybe bumped the retreat up to one, so you can't like air balloon it, because I think it's two retreat.
Oh, good question.
If Garbodor had like three retreat, I think it would be in a really good spot. The
Yeah.
Garbotoxin Gardevoir, Garbodor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it would be like in a really good spot
I
because you
like that pick,
really,
yeah.
it's another thing where Garbodor is like another card that you would think like really like narrows deck building, but it actually like expands it because you re-examine like every good attacker
Right, right.
that doesn't have an ability. And there's also like a lot of tools that you're kind of gonna be looking at and being like, I gotta run one of these, or I gotta run a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Right, right.
So of course like Air Balloon is gonna be really good on it.
You have like some
Um,
Genesect interaction. That sounds fun, man.
Genesect, yeah. Like there's well, it shuts off Genesect.
TPCI, hire us, please.
Yeah, but I think Garbodor would be really interesting. And I think like the first deck that I would think of that'd be really good would be like Garbodor Greninja
Hmm.
EX.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Garbodor, low key, no, never mind. Garbodor or Honchkrow would not work because you couldn't Ariana.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but like I'm just thinking, you just think about all of these where it's like, or even Pokemon that have like harmful.
We could have
Uh,
Zoroark Garbodor.
True,
We're back.
cooking. True. Wait, are we cooking?
I think we're cooking. No, for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
because you tool scrap for your own. I think it is like time for ability lock on a bench sitter to come back.
yeah.
Imagine how toxic it shuts off Frostlass. It shuts off Monkey Dory.
Wait, yeah. That's what
It shuts
attacks
off
too, yeah.
it shuts off Fez. It shuts off like all of this.
Right, right.
And I think like there's counterplay to it. You're gonna play like heavy tool scrapper. And there's even gonna be decks that are gonna try and play like their own like little line
Yeah,
of it. Like you're like imagine you're playing your Dragapult deck. You take all your Dracloaks, you attach it because you know you have a Tool Scrapper in hand.
yeah,
And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna shut off their Fez. I think it's time for that would be a good card. That might actually be the answer.
yeah.
Um, remove Dragapult, add in Garbodor.
Right, right. I think if I had to kill a card, I might say like boss.
Interesting.
Um, to your point about Garbodor, like, or I think part of the reason why I'm like sick kind of Iono is because it's felt very fake for a long time. Where it's like you always be Ionoing them and then they always be having it with the Fez, with the rocks, with, you know, for as long as Iono's existed, I feel like it's been fake. With the Comphase, with the Radiant Greninja, with the whatever the flavor is, got your teal masks going. I'm gonna use my V-Star power to custom do whatever. Um, I guess like that's kind of the reason I've been sick of it. Like I want something that buys a turn that is actually like buying the turn and like has a cost kind of on me as well on my deck where it's like Iono is a draw card too. It's like the most flexible card ever printed. You could put four of Iono in like any deck and it would like never be bad, you know? Um,
Yeah,
so to my mind, that's just kind of like, well, I guess like Alakazam, but
true.
regardless. Um, yeah. To me, boss just kind of stinks a little bit for similar reasons where it's just kind of like a I have it card, you know? Kind of a win more card. That's my knee jerk re-answer as well.
Any more thoughts, or do you want to get to number two?
Shit, that was number one. What's number two? Lock in.
I don't think we can do the full scope of this question.
No.
If you wanted, this is question two. If you wanted to immediately improve every type within the GLC format, what is a single card you could add to each individual typing to make the game more fun for every player in every deck, including Fairy? We can't be adding cards to every type.
Hold on a sec, hold on.
I think
Calculating.
I think like I fire is the one that needs the most help right now.
Yeah.
I think the
Fire,
fire players,
just give him
they
like
always
Fan
look
Rhythm.
like yes, that's a good one.
Fairy, Junkun Sableye.
True, true, true.
Grass, I want. I mean, they kind of got Forest. Grass might be fine. Grass might be my like platonic ideal, like GLC type. Like I think if it was perfectly balanced the way I wanted the power levels, we'd all be on grass right now.
I think the grass just needs like something that isn't a stage two.
Yeah,
The problem with grass is that everything's a stage two that's worth playing.
yeah, but
Like
that's
people will
fine.
be posting, yeah, I just think that like the problem with grass is it's like if you hit it, it is like one of the most fun decks. But
Yeah.
the problem is that you like hit that Hisuian heavy ball and you're like, oh, this is like one Pokemon of every single line that I
True.
need.
Grass, give them a Hisuian heavy ball that lets them get as many Pokemon as they want.
Ooh,
Just
true.
give them like a supporter that says like get as many grass Pokemon as you want, and then just put some cards from the top of your deck or whatever. Just put them in the prizes.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's real. And grass
Facts.
still wouldn't be tier one.
No, no. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Um,
grass.
what was next? Like metal and lightning.
Yeah, well, metal already got their bullshit.
Yeah, metal. I would give them some free retreat or just like one slightly better accelerator, maybe like a blacksmith type card.
Honestly, I think that we just need a better Metagross.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think it's like that's something that would fix it. Where it's the same thing with like Corellia.
Stat him the fuck out. I want it 190 on the Metagross. No less than
Yeah,
190.
I think that if you gave it like a tasteful support ability,
Yeah,
like it would be pretty good. Because the Metang is just like it feels like the fakest card whenever my opponent is using it.
yeah,
And then at like a certain point, like you can see them low-key like cope at the end because they're like, "God, it's stuck on my bench. I might as well see what I can do."
right. And then you like
Uh,
sometimes you just hit two though, and it's like, fuck.
yeah. I think like a good Metagross would be good.
Yeah,
Something with like a tasteful support ability.
yeah. Little
Um,
levitate or like a little, maybe like a little disruption, some kind of like they have four bench or something like that
true. What if it was like energy acceleration from like discard?
on the Metagross.
You can make it like a little weaker to like,
Yeah, make it
but
like
that's not really
discard
like
its
this
own
type.
energy. Right, right.
Yeah, that's not really like its type. I think it's like honestly just stat it like you said, stat it out,
Just
give it
stab
an
it out
attack,
for real.
give it an attack for its like damage reduction,
Yeah, yeah,
and you just like push it in the active and like do like 80 every turn, and it's
yeah.
like minus 100. You put a cape on it, and then it's just like never dying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. Raid boss Metagross.
Yeah.
Lightning just needs a damn draw card. I mean, that's easy.
True.
Give him
I
anything
think
that draws,
yeah.
please.
Lightning actually is I think Lightning is the most like mental BM deck
Yeah,
because your only option is to like it's like you're held up by floss. You have like these two 90 HP, and if like one of them dies, like sometimes you just want to scoop up the whole game.
yeah,
And one of them is always prized.
yeah.
And then
I would
your
say
only option to
everything's a
reset,
stage one. Yeah.
your only option for draw is to discard your hand and you get five.
You get
You get
four.
five
Four.
or four.
Yeah, you get four.
Yeah.
Ain't no way, man. Give lightning some draw. Literally anything will be good.
I think if like they got up a barrel,
Yeah, trade or something.
yeah, trade would be good. I think um what other types?
We got Dark. Dark, I already
Oh,
had my answer. I would have said something that lets you stack on top of the deck, like Smooth Over. Just like this Crobat. I was low key like thinking when I was playing Dark more. I was thinking, what kind of card would I put in this pool to crack it? And I was like, Smooth Over would go so crazy because you could like buff out your own trades every turn. You could,
true.
if you have to play this like shitty ass draw engine, like let me get some real value out of it. Um, and we got it. We did get Smooth Over, but it's on a active only, and it's got one retreat. In any case, that's still my answer. It would be like real Smooth Over.
Okay, I think Dark might also just need a new, like, updated raid boss.
Yeah,
Because
a
you have
new
like
attacker.
you have like Guzzlord,
Yeah,
and that's like probably 10 years old.
right, right.
And
Hoopa,
it's really good
Spiritomb.
still.
It's all
True.
yellow borders, man.
I think you just need something that's like you need like an okie dokie for Dark.
Yeah,
Something that's just like a good single attacker that like you can put in.
yeah, yeah.
Because every single time I see a Dark player, they put that Guzzlord down, and it's like, well, I know what I'm targeting.
Right, right. Yeah,
Um,
maybe like two energy. Maybe has
true.
needs to have damage counters on it or something like that. Needs to have like three counters, so you can't just get it for free with Toxtricity. Little
Yep.
Spiritomb. Okay, that's an easy one. Every type after that is like I don't really want to buff them that much.
Yeah, I think like what other types are there? Colorless. I
Water dragon, yeah,
I think like the only thing for those is to just like a card that opens up like a new archetype.
yeah,
Like I'm trying to think about like what it is. I think like a damage manipulation psychic would be interesting.
yeah,
But that thing would like splash into the normal. Um you can't give it like an aggro card because then it's going to be using like the normal psychic builds. You can't give him like a control card because then it's going to be used in a normal psychic builds.
don't give Psychic anything, man.
Honestly, I think that
Give them a day off.
it's, they should have like a mandatory card that like if it goes into the discard, you lose the game.
True. Wait, yeah.
So people will be like eerieing the psychic players.
What was that card? Lost World.
Yeah,
It was like Pokemon very very rarely has effects that say like win the game on them, but there used to be this Lost World that was like if they had six or more Pokemon in the Lost Zone, you could play the stadium and choose to win the game during your turn. Um,
yeah,
and it was never very played because there was only like a couple pretty weak ways to get their Pokemon into the Lost Zone. Um, but it makes me wonder.
yeah. It was like really niche. Um, for fighting, it's the same thing where it's like it just needs to open like a new archetype. There's like a fighting control deck, right, with the Excadrill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think maybe like a card that would like enable that could be interesting. Loki, I think like a mill card would be cool. I think
Yeah,
mill strategies are like kind of fun because you have like a lot of like
yeah, yeah.
that is a part of their type identity.
Yeah, you mean like pure mill as well, not like control per se, but like just
Yeah, yeah.
milling off the top, ripping them off the top.
You know, Trasholanche Garbodor
Mm,
in fighting, where they're
infighting.
milling, and then you just have like the late game where you're just like
Yeah,
hitting them for all the items.
I vibe with that. Yeah,
That could be
colorless. I
fun.
want
I
to
think
see some more spread. Yeah,
oh, spread's good.
that's I feel like one of those archetypes that's never quite had the legs.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about like any archetypes that are like really interesting that don't have like enough support. A lot of them are like control cards. or control decks, which I think maybe is against the idea of this,
Right, right.
where Freddy wants fun cards, but we're just suggesting the most like degenerate shit ever.
Yeah. Nah, that's good stuff.
Loki, give some of these just give everybody like item lock, give everybody Badoo, and give
Facts.
everybody Joke on Save Alive, except for
Yeah.
Psychic.
Now, yeah, except
Actually,
everyone but Psychic.
it's like it's like Full Metal Alchemist. Something of equivalent value must be lost. And we're taking all of those cards from the Psychic pool.
Right, right.
Like we have to kill Frillish and I don't know,
Yeah, like Celebrations, Mew.
Malamar.
Mew's gotta go.
Mew, yeah. We take Mew and Frillish at the altar and
Z
like everybody gets a Badoo.
Zatu now draws one card instead of two. Zebstrika now draws five cards instead of four.
Yeah.
We gotta
Now
redistribute.
Electric would be the seventh best type.
True, 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 true. Psychic's still first, but I digress.
Well, the problem with Subtreka isn't the four cards, it's the fact that you have to discard everything. That's why it's such a BM card, because
Yeah.
there's so many times where you're like, if I don't draw more cards, I automatically lose the game.
Um,
But if I discard this hand, I also lose the game.
right. No, I feel like when I'm playing versus Lightning players, they like agonize over their sprint hand. They're like, "Oh, this is so bad, but I have to sprint." They sprint and they're like, "Well, this is shit," and then they'll just like attach and swing with Zapdos again, and it's like, "I'm so sorry. You have to go through this like every turn, man. It's horrible."
Yeah.
No, for sure. Shout Freddy. These are some excellent questions. And we
Yeah.
appreciate you too, of course, for watching the pod and submitting.
Yeah, they have another note. There's more to the email.
Oh shit.
Thank you for your time and for reading. Well, I'm the only one who read this. My last request is if this topic were to be discussed on the pod to keep my name anonymous.
Already
Love your
done.
show and watching it on Mondays at home.
True.
Also, our previous guest wanted us to shout out the whole uh, GG community and the Milkman. Those who know, know.
Yeah. Yeah,
No free promo.
we got a couple milkmen actually.
True. We maybe once we get to episode 40, we'll talk about we'll drop the Milkman lore.
Yeah, we're getting the milk episode going. Special guests, milk
We have to.
costumes.
It's gonna be one of those like ESPN 30 for 30
Yeah,
where we like interview all the old heads,
right.
and they're like, it's the Milkman.
Yeah.
It's like a name of our documentary, and it's like the GG story.
We'll put all the pictures in black and white, even though they're definitely in color and like the events are not that old.
Yeah, the opening is like dramatic music
Yeah.
over the Tio and his cow costume hitting the gritty.
Yeah, yeah. It's all those Ken Burns shots of like slowly zooming in on the like historical. Nah, the milk lore is crazy. You ain't been to Chicago till you got milked.
For real.
Nah, we love you, Freddie. And thank you, obviously, for watching and submitting this banger question. Um,
Yeah. If you want your topic to be read,
yeah,
send it. Low key, this is some good scouting. I think that we got a good idea into the psyche of our senders.
yeah, yeah. True. And this is a good time to mention that if you are interested in submitting content, or maybe just maybe you have so much on your mind that you yourself want to be on the damn Clubhouse, then I have a very, very exciting announcement. Austin, what are we doing for episode 10?
So this is from the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
We for the 10th episode, we never thought we would get this far. We've climbed mountains, we've gotten feedback, and we want to bring the clubhouse to you
Yeah.
on twitch.com.
Twitch.tv, Twitch.tv.
Sorry, twitch.tv. They probably own twitch.com. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
twitch.tv.
Facts.
We will be having the clubhouse live. And as a
Yes.
part of this, we want to do some call-ins. We want you to be a clubhouser for 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes?
We're gonna
Come
have you
in.
on.
We're gonna have you come on. Um, and you're gonna discourse with us. You're gonna be the third clubhouser.
Yes.
So if you want on, we're accepting applications.
Yeah. You don't gotta submit us much. I'll say this right away. We're looking for topics. We're basically looking to see that you've got, something interesting to say. But we're taking calls. This is gonna be Clubhouse Live on twitch.tv. Um I'll have details in the description. If they're not there yet, maybe check again in a week or so, and we'll have the links updated. Uh, we are planning this for Sunday, April 19th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, Sunday, April 19th. It should be like roughly 2 weeks from this podcast release. Um, we're going to have you on. We're going to be checking chat. We're going to be bantering with the locals. We're going to have you on the Clubhouse. Quite excited to bring this show live. Um, I'm like the primary editor here, and when I started making this thing, like we would record separately, and I would like bring all the videos in, and edit everything. I would like sync Austin's lip with his words, and that was like way too much work. Since then, we've much improved the setup that we're now like recording everything in one go, um, which is why this video has been looping the same ETB of me opening. Um, but now we got everything in OBS, so just to peek behind the veil here, the setup is much, much smoother. And we can take this thing live, bring it to the people on twitch.tv. This will probably be like slash my username, I think is like aavid4, but the link will be there. So mark your calendars for Sunday, April 19th at 7:30 p.m. We will be going live on twitch.tv. And holy Helen, this is like the longest episode we've ever done. We really made them wait for that damn announcement.
Yeah, low key. There's timestamps, so there's gonna be like most of the people are gonna just skip to the end,
Yeah.
and then
Is that true
they're gonna
though?
hear this. I don't know. We're gonna see our
But
analytics.
now
I
we're
check the
now we're now
analytics.
we're calling them out, We might have like a chilling effect where it's like if you skipped here and now you're getting called out for skipping here, it's like, well, I
No, but
guess I
we're keeping
gotta
the timestamp.
do some laundry.
I I'm a jump arounder.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see a topic and I'm probably skipping that ninja spinner section.
True. Ninja Spinner it's looking like not a crazy set, I'm not gonna lie. Also, we kind of like did discourse for a lot of these cards already, but you
Yeah.
had to hear it here.
No, we have like a couple non-local viewers.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Trust, I look at the analytics.
Yeah. Now, some of our I like recognize some of the names from like the webcam scene. Um, so we appreciate all y'all, like locals, non-locals, standard heads, GLC heads. Like it's been such a pleasure to put this thing on, and even like broadly, like the clubhouse is like so fun and stuff, but like to me, this whole Pokemon scene is like just such a group effort, and like it feels really, really special to be a part of it and contribute as much as I have to it. And it wouldn't be possible without you. That's why we're taking the damn clubhouse live, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Maybe for episode 20 or 30, we'll do the Clubhouse Roadshow. Take it to
Facts.
you.
Facts, facts. I think Clubhouse in
That'll go
Akron might
hard.
kind of go crazy because we would be like bootlegging the Tricky Dream streams, you know? Like we'd be like secretly filming in the back. We can't even like they probably don't want us to stream in there because it would be like competition, you know? They have their own official stream, but we're gonna be in there underground reporting what's really going on at Full Grid.
No, we're not even there for one of the 3Ks. We're just there. We're just there for like GLC locals.
Just going under. We're wearing disguises and we're like we're just scouting what they're playing.
Yeah, take it to the Airbnb and film it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, Roadshow is gonna be super good. I'm excited. Here's to 10 more episodes of the
Yeah,
Clubhouse. Next one's gonna be live. We'll have it recorded as well. So if you miss it,
true.
if you're busy, you gotta work on Sunday, don't even worry about it. We will record it as well so that it'll be on YouTube, and you can argue with folks in the comments or wherever.
True. We want our chatters.
Yes, you can always chat away too. We'll be in there.
True. I'll be hashing it out in the comments.
Yeah, true. I love when the streamer types in the chat, like you can tell they're kind of like pissed off.
Yeah. Well, I got places to be.
Facts. Thank you, of course, Austin, for joining me. Uh,
Yes, as always.
we went crazy on this one, and we hope you enjoyed. Drop the clock emoji for how long this damn episode's been. Drop
True.
some ninja, some
Ninjas?
shuriken. Is there like a shuriken?
Yeah, drop some cows. Drop some milk.
Some milk, a little bit of milk for sure. And yeah, of course, comments, emails always open.
True.
I'm David.
Email in the description.
Facts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're done.
Okay.
See ya.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.